Hi guys, hope you're all doing well. Welcome to Chat with HN. That did well? Nope.
Guys, you should thank God that Harry doesn't do this all the time and you get me to do the introduction because you'd have gotten this all the time. That was terrible though, but because I love you, it was good. Just trying to be an encouraging wife. Yeah, but today we have another exciting topic. All our topics are exciting, honestly, they are. And today we're going to talk about parenting goals. And we have goals for this year to be awesome parents. And it is not like we never had goals before. We did have goals, but we didn't really write it down. We didn't really list it out as to what we want to do in regards to being parents to these amazing three beautiful girls. And so we'll talk a bit about our childhood and how we grew up and what we learned from our parents. And then next week we'll dive a little bit deeper. So how were you raised?
I think that for me, I think that I was my mom was more of the disciplinarian in the family. I think that she will be the one who's always ensuring that you are home and but I think before that I wasn't actually raised I think in a Christian family. I think I wasn't raised going to church or born in a church or stuff like that. I know that I led my mom to church, or I started going to church to Sunday school when I was, I think, 4, and then she followed as well. But I think that's how it started. But it wasn't like I was raised in a Christian home, and I think that my dad was a bit more relaxed in terms of raising me, disciplining me. He wasn't really that active in it. Just like, oh, okay, how are you doing? You know. What do you want? You want to get this, get that. But it wasn't like intentionally trying to get to know what was going on with me and if I was okay. I think my mom did the best trying to do that as well. But I'm sure a mother trying to raise a young man must have been very difficult because I was troublesome. Always not at home, going to play video games.
The unsaved version of Harry.
We had this video.
But the video games you still play it.
I don't play video games anymore. When was the last time I played video game? Thank you. So, what was I saying? Yes. So my mom was always chasing me at the video game center, always, looking for me. I remember one time she chased me, came to the video game center, and I had to hide. And the guy was Muslim, so I think they were fasting at that time. So I told the guy to tell her that I'm not around, and the guy had to lie. So when the guy finished, he said, "You made me lie when I'm fasting. Made me lie when I was fasting." But he was so angry with me. But I remember. But I mean, I think my mom did her best. But it wasn't as if I was raised with Christian values necessarily. But I was told very nice values like don't steal. Stealing is wrong. I mean, things like that. But stuff like that, but it wasn't like it was very intentional. I think she did her best, but
But she gave you a great education.
Oh yes, she did.
So you're raised to value education.
Awesome education. That one. I went to very good schools. That I did go to good schools.
And thanks to her, we met in school.
Yeah, it's true.
Yep.
It's true.
Yeah.
But I was still going to school. Maybe I met in grammar school or something.
But we wouldn't have met. It was because of her that you came to AIS and then we end up meeting.
Nah, that's true.
Yeah.
I would have gone to Presec though, but nearly went to Presec. But
we wouldn't have met. I would have married somebody else.
I'd have met you somewhere.
Where?
Why?
Where?
Do you only go to school?
Yes. Focus on education. Yeah. Any other thing you want to add?
Yeah, but I think that it was, right from my childhood, I don't know if I was spoken to. No, my mom didn't speak to me about sex as a child, nothing like that. But I just knew that it was a big deal. But,
don't go area.
But she didn't talk to me about it. But I just knew that it was like I knew that was a no. I don't know whether it was just the movies or was just intuitive or was just probably Sunday school.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I just think that we
And
didn't
the
have that
culture.
conversation. Yeah, on the culture, but we didn't have that
Yeah.
conversation about sex and its place as
Yeah.
a teenager. There was nothing like that, but I just knew that it was
Like, don't-
yes,
Don't think about it.
or even clubbing. None of those things came to mind.
Yeah. You didn't flip off.
Yeah, maybe because she also watched out for the kind of friends I had. But yes, but it wasn't anything structured.
Yeah.
But I think I was learning along the way.
Yeah. I think, well, I was definitely raised in a Christian home.
Yeah.
I was raised in a strong Christian home and with strong Christian values. And whenever I talk about like the home I grew up in, I remember when I was younger, I think there was this picture and I don't know, there were these images on the picture where they would write the adventurous one, the sheltered one, and my friends and I took that picture and everybody was choosing who they were, and everybody said, oh, Insha is the sheltered one, she's the sheltered one. And when I was young, I was like, I don't want to be the sheltered one, I want to be the adventurous. And now that like I'm grown, I'm like, thank God that my parents raised me sheltered, you know, because there are so many things that I did not experience just because of how they protected me, they guided me, they kept me. And that's the role of parents. Parents are supposed to keep, to protect, to guide, to nurture.
Yeah.
And I think that my parents did a good job by putting the Bible in front of us and modeling it for us to see. And so we're raised with so many Christian values, and I believe that is how I'm the woman that I am. I never saw my dad raise his voice as my mom. I never saw my mom raise her voice as my dad. And do I raise my voice at you?
Oh, no.
Definitely not. So because of that, it's difficult for me to parent in that way. I cannot disrespect people. So I those are some of the things that I value my parents. Education. Hey, Mason lady, you have I should clap for you. Honestly, if I say that my parents didn't educate, I have lied to you guys today. We have been educated from when we're young children, and the education has on like different things. Like my parents at some point only bought us black dolls, and I didn't realize that it was intentional till I was doing my master's. And I was writing a paper on black people, and there was this part of the paper that I had to do a research about the black doll theory or something like that. I think it was called that. And I realized that because of just how the world is, because of racism, black people began to give their children black dolls so that the black girls would see the black dolls and would identify with it and know that they're beautiful. That was when I realized that my parents have been strategic. Like, they taught us so many things, from the civil rights movement, like to everything. And when it comes to home teachers, I should clap for you guys again. We had home teachers who, like, the home teachers even went all the way to having a pre-technical skills home teacher. I don't know anybody who had a pre-tech home teacher. Did you have a pre-tech home teacher? We had a pre-tech home teacher. We had a tree home teacher. Like, my parents took education so personal. Any time before an exam, my mother would, like, the Pope hall will be covered with papers. We'll be writing, we'll be studying. Like, education, like, honestly, like, they took it to a whole different level. They watched the type of friends that we had. Our spiritual life was a priority, but I loved how they did it, because it wasn't, you know how there are times that people talk about being a Christian and it's almost like they were raised up in a home where they were oppressed. I never felt that in my home. Like, it's rules-based. There was never any rules-based thing. But you would know that this is what you're supposed to do because you've seen mom and dad do it. And that is totally how I want to raise my kids, and I appreciate some of them. And like, there are so many things that they've done. My parents have, like, they've been a provider. They have provided for us. They have kept us. They have advised us. They have taught us so many things. They have disciplined us. Oh my God. You see, right now, I'm like the saved and Holy Ghost filled Inshira, the lovely girl. I was not like that when I was a child. Oh my gosh. Like, I gave my parents a run for their parenting. Like, I taught them how to parent. I was that kid, babe. Like, it's only by the grace of God. And my parents disciplined me to the point that I was like, okay, I surrender. Like, I think that I taught them a lot, and because of me, my parents became who they are as parents. And I'm just grateful for how they raised us. And one thing I've gotten to know as a parent myself is that parents are not perfect.
Yeah.
Every parent is coming from another family. They have been parented by somebody, and they pick the good from what they've experienced, and they bring it onto their families. And I'm definitely picking all the positives, and there's so much that my parents have taught me, and I'm bringing it into my family. I hear so many people talk about their parents, and most people don't appreciate what their parents have done, and there are so many reasons for that. But one thing I know is that I need to show my parents a lot of grace, because now that I'm a parent, I realize that I am not perfect. And so once I want my children to have grace for me, I have to have grace for them. I cannot always talk to my children right. There are times that I get upset. There are times that I would hit them when I know I shouldn't hit them because I'm so frustrated. And in those moments, I'm like, I'm so sorry I did that. I know I'm not supposed to, but because I am human, because I am flawed, I've done this. And once I've understood that, I can forgive some of the things that I think my parents might have done that hurts me, because it was never intentional.
Yeah.
It's just the human version, and it is all that you know that you give, you know. So those are some of the things that I've learned.
Yeah, and one of the things that my parents also taught me, especially my mom, was about sacrifice.
Yeah.
And how she would, sell everything that she had just to make me comfortable, to take me to school. Because I went to a very good school.
Yeah.
And I know that the fees were not that cheap.
Yeah.
She had to do a lot, especially with where we're coming from, to be able to pay that school fees. And I remember we paid our school fees I remember one time I'll pay 10 times one particular school fee. I had 10 receipts for one school. They had payment plan. And it was quite interesting. I was having receipts. I remember so well. But when I think about it, I understand that it took her a lot to get that place. And so when I think about parents, I think about sacrifice.
Yeah,
I think about going all out for my family, for my kids, to be the best for them. And just like you rightly said, that our parents are not perfect, and we have to learn to extend grace to them.
Yeah.
And for all of us who are listening, we have to learn to extend grace to our parents.
Yeah.
And knowing that we're also going to become parents, or we are all parents, and we need that same grace extended to us.
Yeah.
And that's a very important lesson for us to understand that today, that it's just by grace, and that as we learn from them, we are able to sift rightly. The mistakes they make, we don't make them. But then the places where they did very well, we're also able to pick those lessons and those values and run with them, because they've helped us be better, and they can also help our kids to be better as well. Yeah.
And there are so many lessons that our parents have taught us, and I'm sure if we're supposed to really go deeper into it, we would not end this video. But we're hoping that what we shared today has been a blessing to you. Extend grace to your parents, because they need it, and extend grace to yourself if you're a parent, because you also need it. And we'll continue next week talking about parental goals. So thank you so much for listening to us tonight, and we hope you have a good night, guys. Bye.